Hello everyone, today we are covering chapter 3 of CCNA 2 version 5 and we are doing lab 3.2.4.9 and it's troubleshooting VLAN configurations. If you remember my previous video under the same chapter, chapter 3, we configured VLANs, basic VLANs, and now what we're going to do is we're going to actually troubleshoot VLANs. So I'm just going to set up the topology, then we shall get started. So we'll start off by putting these switches in. Put two 2960s in. Then we need 3 PCs. There we go. And we'll just rename them real quick. So we've got PCC, PCB and PCA. S1 for switch 1 and S2. And we'll just cable them up now. Fast Ethernet 6. A 1-to-1, 11 to PCB, and 18 to PCC. I'll just turn off all the port labels. There we go, it's a little bit better now. So we'll jump right in. We've now cabled up the network. We'll configure the PC hosts in step 2. We'll do that now. So we'll start with PCA, desktop IP address, and we'll input the static address 192.168.10.2. Gateway is 192.168.10.1. PCB 192.168.10.3. 192.168.10.1. Same gateway. And last but not least, PCC. And that's 192.168.20.3. different network, different gateway. 192.168.20.1. There we go. And we'll go back down. We don't need to initialize and reload the switches as we're using packet tracer, not real equipment, and the images are blank. So we'll move to step 4 and we are going to configure basic settings for both switches. So we'll start with switch 1 onto the command line. EM, and we need to conft disable DNS lookup so it's no IP domain dash lookup. Configure IP addressing in the table. So we'll go back up, switch 1, so we'll do interface VLAN 1, IP address is 192.168.1.2/24 subnet mask, enter and apply the no shutdown command to bring the interface up. We'll exit out of the interface now. We'll go back down, so we need to assign Cisco as the console and VTY passwords and enable login for console and VTY lines. Okay, so we'll start with console, so line con 0, password is Cisco, we need to enable login, exit out of that, line VTY 015, password Cisco, and login enabled. Exit out of that. So we'll move on to step 4D, which is assign class as a privileged exec password. So we'll do enable password class. Then we need to configure login synchronous to prevent console messages from interrupting the command entry. Okay. So we'll move back into console, so line con 0, and we simply apply login space synchronous. There we go. And just exit out of that, because now we are going to move on to step switch 2, sorry, and do these same things. So I'll just run through these quickly. IP address 20.1, is it? No. 1.3. 1.3. 24 subnet. And again, we apply the no shutdown command. Exit out of that. Then we need to line 0, password Cisco, login synchronous, exit, and ETY 015, password Cisco, login, and we exit out of that, enable password class, and there we go. So yep, that's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to load these configurations onto switch 1 and 2. So we'll start with switch 1. Now there's probably going to be some errors, well there will be some errors in this config here, and what we're going to do, obviously the whole point of the lab is troubleshooting. So we need to apply these configs to switch 1. We'll just gather them there, and we need to right click and paste. On real equipment you just tap right and it'll start inputting it all. So that's done there, and we'll do the same for switch 2. We can see already on switch 1 that the commands has contained some configurations that are shut down these ports that we don't need to be shut down, but we'll sort that after. So we'll do this for switch 2. There we go, and it's happened again for that one. So we need to copy run start. And I'll do it for the other one as well. So we'll do the copy from start. Now we'll move on to part 2. So in part 2 you must examine VLAN 10 on switch 1 and switch 2 to determine if it is configured correctly. You will troubleshoot the scenario until connectivity is established. So step 1A, can PCA ping PCB? The answer already to that is no, because the link lights are down, so that's not going to happen. After verifying that PCA was configured correctly, examine the switch 1 to find possible configuration errors by viewing a summary of a VLAN information. Okay, so we'll just do a show VLAN brief. Okay, scroll back up to VLAN assignment. Now, switch port assignment specifications, we can see that VLAN 10, fast Ethernet 6 to 12, needs to be in VLAN 10. We don't have 6 in there, so we've got 7 to 12. 6 is still assigned to default 1 VLAN 1. So we need to change that. But before we do that, we shall, hold on, let me just have a read of this. So in fact, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll fix it as we go. So we know that fast Ethernet 06 needs to be in VLAN 10. So we'll do global config interface fast Ethernet 06 switch port access VLAN 10 and show VLAN brief. There we go, 6 to 12 now is in there, which is fine. So we've done that. Let's just check the other VLANs while we're here to be sure. Fast Ethernet 01 needs to be a trunk. It's currently not set to a trunk, and we know that because when a trunk link is formed, the interface doesn't show on the VLAN brief, and the interface is currently Fast Ethernet 01, which is showing in VLAN 1. So we know a trunking assigned now. We'll look at VLAN 20, and we've got ports 13 to 18. We haven't even got a VLAN 20. Okay, so we'll look at VLAN 30, 19 to 24, 19, 24, so that's right. So we need to do a VLAN 20. First VLAN 20. So we'll call VLAN 20. Is it description? No, name. Faculty. VLAN 2 and VLAN. Okay, yeah, we've got. So the VLAN assignment is wrong. In fact, so we've got VLAN 2 13 to 18, which is right, but it shouldn't be. So what we'll do is we'll exit out of that. No VLAN. In fact, we'll get those. It will do a no VLAN 2. So if we do a we can see the parts have disappeared as well. So what we'll do is we'll do VLAN 20 name faculty. Now we'll do interface range, and we'll do fast Ethernet 013 to 18, and we'll do switch port access VLAN 20, and that show VLAN brief, and there we go. We've got VLAN 20, VLAN 2 is removed now. We have 13 to 18, which is how it should be. So all them barring the trunk is correct now. So what we shall do is, I know we're jumping a little bit forward instead of following the instructions down, but you know, just the way I work like this is because when you're doing the practical assessments, you need to be used to just getting on with it, sort of thing, finding the errors and correcting them. So what we'll do is, while we're on switch 1, is we'll configure the fast Ethernet 01 as a trunk interface as it specifies in a document. So we'll do interface fast Ethernet 01, and we'll do switch port mode trunk. There we go. So now that's set to a trunk. Show VLAN brief. That's still on at the minute because all the ports are shut down. So if we do conf t fast Ethernet 0, interface fast Ethernet 01, now shut down to bring the port back up. There we go. So if we end that, do a show VLAN brief, you can see now that fast Ethernet 01 disappeared because it's now used for the trunk. We shall enable the port for the PC, which is, can't remember, 06. Okay, so we'll do a no shutdown on that. That brings that interface back up too. So I've jumped ahead a little bit, but we'll see where we've got to on these instructions. So we did the show VLAN brief. We did see there were problems with the VLAN configuration. We examined the fast Ethernet 01, and we've now changed it to trunk. Are there any problems with the trunking configuration? We shall take a look. I mean, at the minute switch 2 is not activated, but we can do a show interfaces trunk, and we can see that trunking is on that one, so that's fine now. Correct the errors found regarding fast Ethernet 01 and VLAN 10 on switch 1. We've done that. Okay, verify the commands add the desired effects by issuing the appropriate show commands. We've done that. Can PCC ping PCA? It still won't work at the minute because switch 2 is still shut down, so we're going to move on to switch 2 now and troubleshoot that as well. So we shall first enable the password, so it's Cisco EN class. So first what we'll do is we'll enable the interfaces. We'll just verify. So we've got fast Ethernet 011, no shutdown. Then we have 18, if I can remember correctly. Yeah. Fast Ethernet 018, and we'll do a no shutdown as well. Bring them interfaces up. And we'll end that. We'll do a show interfaces trunk just to see what fast Ethernet 01 connected to switch 1 is on. So we can see that trunking is set on there, so that's good. Don't need to worry about that. We'll have a look at the VLANs. Show VLAN brief. So we have, let's verify the ports again to the VLAN assignments. So one's disappeared, as rightly so, because that's acting as a trunk. We'll look at VLAN 10. We have no interfaces assigned to that because 6 to 12 here in the default VLAN, VLAN 1, so we need to move them over. So we'll do that in a minute. We'll just have a look at VLAN 20. So it should have 13 to 18. So we've got 13. Yep, so that's correct. And we've got VLAN 30, 19 to 24. Okay, that's correct as well. So what we need to do is we need to remove the VLANs over from VLAN 1 to VLAN 10, the ones that are stated on the document. So we'll do that now. So we'll do interface range, and we're going to do fast Ethernet 6 to 12. Switch port access VLAN 10 and show VLAN brief. And there we go. The correct ports now are in VLAN 10 and everything else is correct. So we'll scroll back down. And where are we? We are here. Using the previous commands, examine the switch to find possible configuration errors. Now we've done that. Correct the errors found regarding interfaces and VLAN 10 on switch 2. We've just done that. Can PCA ping PCB? Now we shall try that. So from PCA, we'll get PCB's IP address. So we're going to ping 192.168.10.3, and yep, we're getting replies, which is good. So we'll scroll back down. Oops, gone a bit too far. So we'll move on to part 3. In part 3, you must examine VLAN 20 on switch 1 and switch 2. Determine if it is configured correctly. Okay, we did that already. So as I mentioned before, we jumped forward a little bit. To verify functionality, you will reassign PCA into VLAN 20 and then troubleshoot the scenario until connectivity is established. Okay, so we're going to change the IP address on PCA and we're going to change it to 192.168.20.2. So 20.2 with a gateway of 20.1. There we go. And what we're going to do is we'll try ping straight away because we did correct some errors with VLAN 20 previously. So we'll just get the IP address for PCC, which is 20.3. And we shall see if it pings. And if it doesn't, we shall further troubleshoot 192.168.20.3. Okay. No, it's not pinging. So we'll jump onto the switches. We'll have a quick look at the oops, sorry, my fault. Forgot to assign switch 1's port connected to PCA to VLAN 20. So we'll assign that now. Conf T interface fast Ethernet 06 switch port access VLAN 20, and now we'll try the ping again when that link light goes green, and hopefully it should work because we did correct some errors previously. So let's give that a second to go green. Come on. There we go. So we'll try ping now. Nope, it's still timed out. So what we'll do is we'll further troubleshoot. So we'll verify the ports. Show VLAN brief. 6 is 9 VLAN 20. That's good. And we'll do a show VLAN brief on this one. Excuse my dog. Okay. 19 is in 20. Just double check these configurations. 20.2, 20.1, okay. 20.3, 20.1, 6. Okay. So we'll just do a show this is true. Just run through a few of the show commands. And this might be our answer here. We can see that VLAN 1, 2, 10 and 30 is allowed across the trunk, but VLAN 20 isn't. Okay, so we need to fix that. So we'll do a count 2 and we'll do interface fast Ethernet 0, 1. We'll do switch port. I've got the command now. Switch port. Trunk. Yeah, allowed. And we need to do VLAN 20. There we go. Now we'll see if we can ping. Let me just take a look. Okay. Just having a look at the assignments of ports here. 120. Okay. So let me just go back into Fast Ethernet 1. There we go, that allows them all across. Let's try and have a ping with that. There we go. And we now have it pinging. So it's working now. The issue was with the VLANs allowed across the trunk. Now, if I just get that back up, you can see at first I changed it just to try VLAN 20. And we got the output. Where's it gone? There we go. We've got the output just allowing VLAN 20, but without VLAN 1, I'm guessing it didn't work. So what I did was change the VLANs allowed across the trunk to all of them, which are all the configured ones, so 1, 10, 20 and 30, 1 being the default. And as you've just seen, we'll try it again, we now have full connectivity. Yeah, there we go. So can PCA ping PCC? Yes it can. And that's the end of the lab. For those actually filling out this lab, you should have been able to gather your answers to fill out the necessary questions. For those that are, I hope you found that useful. If you feel I did go a little bit fast or jump ahead a little bit, just pause the video and go back. Maybe also watch the last video I did on VLAN configuration, which was the last lab before this lab, and you might get a better idea of VLAN configurations. But that's it for now. Until next time, thank you.